Hello everyone, today's video is going to be a very chatty reflections video. I'm going to look back on 2017, which was a difficult year. When I think of it, I just think of the word difficult. Not like dreadful worst year of my life, certainly not the best year of my life. Interesting and difficult is what I think. Can I just give a shout out to this beautiful kimono? My mum made it for me and this is the most me thing I think I've ever seen in my life. I haven't taken it off since she gave it to me. I'm obsessed. But let's look at 2017. I wouldn't like to relive it, let's say that. So let's go back to January. In January, I was living in a flat share in Birmingham with 6 girls. I only knew one of them, I didn't know the others, but things were okay. I was at university in Birmingham. My family are all from Essex, so I was away from home, and I was thinking, you know, I'm in my second year. I got a first in my first year. I'm going to work really hard in my second year. I wasn't living in a nice area. I wasn't surrounded by friends. I wasn't loving the course. But I was all about the positive vibes, and then March happened. So if you don't know what happened to me in March, I've spoken about it a lot on the channel. I'll link the video down below because what? When I think back to what happened in March, I'm just still very confused. Basically, I was living in a massive block of flats, and some guys that lived in the block of flats that I didn't know, I decided to go out to the courtyard area, and they threw a bucket of water over me from 5 stories high. They were high on drugs, and they were also intoxicated with alcohol, and they were shouting and screaming at me. I was very afraid. They then threw bottles at me as well. It was just a whole thing, and there was no justice done. So that happened to me one night, and I was just in complete shock about the situation. Then there was no kind of justice done, so I just felt very let down by the building. And then my flatmate heard one of the people that were involved in the incident talking about it in reception, and so loads of other people could hear, and that's when I kind of thought, I'm unsafe, because I thought they were going to come to my flat and say, hey, do you want to withdraw your complaint? Because if you don't, we're going to do something to you. That's genuinely how I felt. But when the man came to do the report with me, he was completely unprofessional from the building, and he just put down this report on the table, and I looked and I saw the name of the people involved, I saw the flat number, and I thought, oh my god, he's done this with them, and they know what flat I'm in. They know where I live now. And let me describe the flat that threw the water. They had a floor to ceiling window halfway filled up with beer cans. That was their decor. And then I had a very weird situation, which I made another video about, which I'll link down below, where the man that did the report basically let himself into my flat and tried to get into my bedroom, and it was really uncomfortable and awkward. So from that moment on, I felt unsafe in my flat. I would leave at any point I could. I would only really sleep in the flat. I couldn't bear to be there. So I was becoming very miserable in Birmingham. I was hating every second of it. So yeah, March was going well. The beginning of the year, oh, the hopes I had were just trashed in March. I felt unsafe. I thought someone was gonna threaten me on my flat. This man who filled out a report let himself into my flat. I just felt very unsafe in the flat. And one thing I will say is that if you feel unsafe in your environment, your whole life just crumbles. It just goes, because one thing that you need is to feel safe. If you don't feel safe, you are continually on edge. You cannot sleep, you cannot eat properly, you are paranoid of every noise, you don't trust anyone. Your life just kind of crumbles around you. And so the year was going great. So March was terrible, hating it. April, the flat fell out. So the 6 girls I was living with, we basically had one of the worst things you can have. If you are living with people, let me tell you what not to do. Don't get a Facebook group chat, because it's too instant. So if you are annoyed with someone, maybe they haven't taken the bins out. If you haven't got Facebook on your phone like me, you would just kind of sit in your room and be like, oh, it's annoying because we live in a shared flat, and then 10 minutes later it would have gone from your mind, that's it. But when you have something like Facebook and you have a group chat of everyone in the flat, someone will just be like, hey, you dirty beast, go and clean the bins because you never do it, and it turns into a whole explosion. They also fell out over something else, but I don't really know what. I wasn't included in the drama. I didn't know what was going on. Then the next month, I fell out with my best friend at university. Basically, it was to do with this YouTube, which I still find pretty mental because I don't have millions of subscribers, so it's very odd. But basically, he left a hate comment on one of my videos. It was really weird. And then his girlfriend left a hate comment, and I was like, hey, do you not realise I know that you're leaving trash on my YouTube? and then we fell out. It was so Jeremy Kyle. It was such like a drama thing, but it affected me really badly because he was my one good friend at university. So at that point I was hating my course, I was hating where I was living, I was hating everything, and I decided that I was going to move to Bristol, which was where my boyfriend lived, and do my university course online and go to lectures and seminars as much as I could. But I was just gonna like move in with my boyfriend and clear my head and my environment. And boy, did that work. I think one of the main things when I think of 2017 is going to see the musical The Cage Files. I saw it at the Bristol Hippodrome. It was absolutely stunning, and there's a song in it which I have loved forever, and I love John Barrowman's version, I love Shirley Bassey's version, and that's the song I Am What I Am. I'm so glad that I got to see the musical The Cage Files at that point in my life. You know when you listen to a song or a film and it's just at a point of your life where it all makes sense, or it means something really poignant to you, and I haven't had a lot of those moments within my life. It's not something that happens all the time. So for me, I was just like, I am what I am and it's my life. So July I went camping. Oh my god, all the videos of me camping are up on the channel. It rained, and we had planned that camping trip for so long. We had researched so many places and it just wasn't what it was, but what it was we just kind of made the best of. So I enjoyed camping. I then in August finished university, my second year, and got a first, and then decided not to go back to university. And some people might think that's crazy because I've done 2 years, why wouldn't I finish it? I just didn't like where I was living in Birmingham. I didn't like the university. I didn't connect with it. Maybe at some point in my life I will finish my degree, but now I do a job that I absolutely love, so you know, I've just chosen a different path. Who knows what the future will hold, because I am what I am, guys. So there's 2017. Obviously, like, it's 365 days. Not all days were difficult. Like, some days were great, and there were great moments with friends and family, and I got to see loads of other shows this year and different experiences. So there were great things throughout this year. I went to so many great restaurants. I'm such an eater, but I love to go to like more interesting restaurants. I did all that. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed living in Bristol, but I just wanted to highlight the main things within my life, so like moving and the big milestones, so that in years to come I can look back on this video and be like, what the hell was 2017? What even happened? I'll link down relevant videos down below if you want to look at me at those different times within the year, probably a little bit more coherently and in detail than this. But that's it. That's the end of this video, sharing with my confusing last year. I hope 2018 is better. It wouldn't take much for it to be better. I hope this year a bunch of idiots don't decide to throw water at me and bottles and make me feel unsafe in my own home. So it's not really a high hope. It's not high, you know, on the level of hopes. Let's pray to God that that doesn't happen again, and it'll be a better year than last year. So I will see you very soon, and let's hope 2018 is better.